They'll have to set aside blame while freezing is their first concern.
We are agreed on that, and I may have a solution. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow.
Guys are going down. Oh, looks like 2 of the mages. 1 down. Stop. Damn.
It's over. Thank you for bringing us here.
No problem. I don't think I have talked to Cassandra since, you know, clearing out these. I don't think I have. So, could probably get a new cutscene. But I'm also positive that that spot that Josephine's ones is in.
I'm glad.
But then again,
will continue to fight at our side, Bull.
And all we lost was our alliance with the Qunari.
I would not trade the Chargers for any alliance.
Thanks, Seeker. The boys would be glad to hear it.
That's really cool. That's really nice, Seeker. Then again, it did cause Josephine's advisor for the operation. I got cut off by Cassandra. I agree with Cassandra though. No deal no deal with the Qunari. It's worth the lives of all the Chargers. I agree. These 3 are annoying. You know why? The despair. Okay, I got 2 out of the 3. He did. Oh, I forgot. The fear demon. We haven't encountered this one yet. Fear demon's the coolest. We win. awesome. So they were level 20. Could kill those guys. Not gonna lie, I think if I ran Blackwall, Cassandra, Iron Bowl, me, just all warriors, I think we could do it. Since mages don't heal you in this game, they only put barriers on you. So, in that case, why not just have 2 warriors with unbreakable armor and 2 other ones that just do a lot of damage? That sounds like fun. There's the arena over there. Hear the wings flapping. Okay, ready to scatter some ashes. Most interactive quest in the game.
Nicely done.
Thanks. Okay, now let's go back to Skyhold. Okay, Vivian. I collected all your circle books. What now?
How may I help you?
It's done. You know, let me arrange the camera.
Your lost books have been found.
I never doubted you, darling. You always get results.
Oh, okay. Quite an interesting cutscene.
How may I help you?
Okay, never mind. Now let's go to Cassandra. Don't mind me, I break my shins daily. That'd be weird. Could you imagine walking around Skyhold and all of a sudden the Inquisitor falls like 10 feet from above you? And then he's just like, oh hey. And then proceeds to walk. Cassandra's just staying still. I wonder what this means. I didn't read this note yet. That was free XP. Sup, Cassandra? What you doing?
Good book?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Are you embarrassed?
Wait, are you blushing?
What would I have to blush about?
You tell me.
It's of no interest to you, I'm certain. It's a book.
I can see that.
It's one of Varric's tales. Swords and Shields, the latest chapter.
So you've read them all?
The latest chapter? Meaning, you've read them all?
Not since this all began. We've been busy.
That's just her favorite.
Nobody asked you to winter.
I couldn't finish the last one you lent me. I actually feel dumber for having tried.
It's literature. Smutty literature. Whatever you do, don't tell Varric.
Maybe I should read it.
Maybe I should read that book.
You? No.
Why not me?
You're the Inquisitor.
Oh, I see.
They're terrible. And magnificent. And this one ends in a cliffhanger. I know Varric is working on the next. He must be. You could ask him to finish it. Command him to... Pretend you don't know this about me.
New task to focus on. Guilty pleasures. Sword and shields, huh? We'll talk to Varric immediately. Hey, Varric. I have a Inquisition demand of you. Just a small one. Could you continue writing Sword and Shield? Fighting a losing battle?
Battling the demons of paperwork? That's a fight nobody walks away from clean.
You have no idea the number of times I've almost been killed by bills of lading. I've been meaning to come talk to you anyhow. I never officially joined the Inquisition. I don't know how to do this disciplehood thing. I'm a businessman. Never really followed a chosen one before.
Just be my friend.
I don't need a disciple. I need a friend.
If you knew how intimidating you are, you wouldn't make it sound so simple. You just don't know what you are to the people out there. The Herald of Andraste is a symbol bigger than any of us.
What am I to you?
What am I to you, then?
None of this shit makes any sense to me. Is this the end of the world? Did Andraste send you through the breach? I have no idea. You heard the crowd singing after Haven was attacked?
Please don't sing.
Please tell me you aren't going to burst into song now.
Don't worry, I'm not that cruel. I should probably get back to work. Unless, you up for a game of Wicked Grace?
And after our game of Wicked Grace, could you complete Sword and Shield?
Looking for someone to talk your ear off? I think I can oblige.
Cassandra wants a book.
Cassandra is waiting for the next issue of Swords and Shields.
I must have heard that wrong. It sounded like you just said that Cassandra read my books.
She's a pretty big fan, actually.
She's a pretty big fan, in fact.
Are we talking about the same Cassandra? Tall, grumpy seeker, like stabbing things? Wait, did you say the romance serial? Oh, she'll be waiting for a while then. I haven't finished it and wasn't planning to. That book is easily the worst I've ever written. The last issue barely sold enough to pay for the ink.
Cassandra seems to like it. I need it as a gift.
I was hoping to give it to Cassandra as a gift.
Oh, come on, that's just cruel. Even the Seeker doesn't deserve that. So, you want me to finish writing the latest issue of my worst serial for Cassandra? Oh, that's such a terrible idea. I have to do it. On one condition. I get to be there when you give her the book.
Fine. I agree.
You've got a deal.
I'll get to work then. You know, the fact that the book is terrible just makes it more worthwhile somehow.
Give Cassandra the latest chapter of Sword and Shields. Yeah, I was going prod Solus, but nah, let's just go give Cassandra the latest chapter. Let's not keep her in suspense. She seems pretty sucked into it. Oh, she's already sitting down for it. Hey, Cassandra, me and Varric have a gift for you.
What have you done now?
I get it, Seeker. You're still sore after our spat.
I'm not a child, Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason.
A peace offering. The next chapter of Swords and Shields. I hear you're a fan.
This is your doing.
I hope you like it. Or you'd like it.
I was hoping you'd be happy about it.
Well, if you're not interested, you're not interested. Still needs editing anyhow.
Wait!
You're probably wondering what happens to the Knight Captain after the last chapter.
Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused.
Well, it turns out the guardsman...
Don't tell me!
This is the part where you thank the Inquisitor. I don't normally give sneak peeks, after all.
Thank you.
No. Thank you. Thank Varric.
Varric's the one you should be thanking.
I am but a humble servant to my loyal readers.
I wonder if I have time to read the first part.
Don't forget to tell all your friends, if you have any. Completely worth it.
If you have any. Don't forget to tell your friends if you have any. She definitely has another quest, which we're gonna wait for the end of the socializing. I don't think every companion has a quest like Varric did, but it doesn't hurt to check. I think I'm gonna start with Cole, and then Sarah, then Bull, and then Blackwall, and then Cullen, and then we still have specialization to do. Should I do that too first? Yeah, that's for later. For now, let's go to Cole.
I'm telling you, I'll make all yourself.
Eh.
Thank you.
You say you saw the champion, and I'm supposed to believe you.
Hey, Cole.
He didn't kill his father. He was his father.
Let's discuss the Inquisition.
I'd like to talk with you about the Inquisition.
I don't understand it. People talk like it's a person, but it's not even a thing. A dagger can be a way to let pain out, but even if it isn't, it's still a dagger. The Inquisition isn't real unless it has something real to make it. It's like a spirit.
You've done odd things.
I hear you've been busy.
You stole bread?
Have you been stealing bread and throwing it onto the battlements?
You couldn't see the birds if I left it on the ground.
Okay. Goodbye.
I'll talk to you later.
How do you know?
Progressing that relationship is good and all, but a story is another thing. Okay, Bull, you're next.
Man, those serving girls are frisky.
Tell me about your troops. How are they doing?
I'd like to hear more about the Chargers.
They're good. Riding high after we hit those Venatori. Glad they made it out alive, too. What do you want to know?
Tell me about Krem.
I'd like to know more about Krem.
He's a good soldier, and a better second in command. The troops need someone to complain to when I'm being a hard-ass. He's good for that.
But you hate Devinter.
You don't have a problem with him being from Tevinter,
Nah,
but you hate the Vints.
sure, but he's not a Vint. He's just a Krim. I can get worked up about a group or a nation just fine, but people, it's too much work to hate them one by one.
Okay, hot topic. Him being a her isn't an issue. It's not a big problem for me.
You don't have any problems with him being a woman?
He's not a woman. Look, you and I have to walk carefully so we don't accidentally break the furniture or the elves. We're probably not the best people to go around deciding what's normal. Krem's a good man. I don't give a nug's ass that it's a little harder for him to piss standing up.
Good stance. That's a good stance. You must have some crazy stories.
What are the craziest jobs you've ever taken?
Besides this one, there's a lot of violence between the nobles here, but that's standard work. The fun stuff is when they party. They always want to impress each other, and that means getting something shiny. We've hunted wyverns, fought through caves to find some old magical crap. Even went giant baiting once.
Giant baiting?
What's giant baiting?
So this old guy, Comte Van Chess, has some kind of a pageant planned. But he needs a giant, which is off in some damn cave. He's got some kind of rare charm to control the giant, but no way he's going into that cave himself. So we go in, kill some spiders, find the giant, and wake it up. It attacks us because, of course, it does. And we let the big bastard chase us outside where Van Chess is waiting.
You let it chase you?
That was actually your plan? To let a giant chase you?
Yeah, We had to stay out of reach, but close enough that it wouldn't give up. It was tricky. Good news is the giants are slow. Long as my guys ahead could clear out the spiders, we were fine. Bad news is the giant spiderwebs slow you down a bit more than you think.
But at least Comte Van Chess got his giant for the pageant.
Turned out that charm was a phony. Giant ate the poor guy alive. It's okay, though. We still got paid.
It does sound like it's different from our giant hunting. We actually hunt the giants, not bait them. We hunt them to kill. Your group is very diverse.
You have people from plenty of different backgrounds in your group.
Yes, well, when you're in Orlais and you look like me, you can't be picky about who you take in. A lot of them got turned away from other companies that didn't want a knife here, or a crazy dwarf. Their loss. You get my back in a fight and carry your own weight, you're good with me. How about you? You had a company of your own. How did you put yours together?
I took all kinds. I mainly used Talvashoff. Yeah, I was mainly a Talvashoff.
My company was mostly Talvashoth, like me.
Well, it's better than becoming bandits, I guess.
How did you start?
How did you start the group?
It's easy to make a name for yourself as a merc when you're a head taller than most folks. I spent a year or two working for Fisher's Bleeders, but their captain was crap. Figured I could do better. The best folks in the Bleeders agreed with me, so we split off.
What about Fisher?
I imagine Fisher disagreed.
He came at me. I snapped his sword in half, and we talked things out over drinks.
Goodbye.
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
I have to piss Bull off, you know, talk about Talvashoff, but I have to act like, you know, they're good people. Bull's like, Okay, Crumb, I want to talk to you.
Shame the alliance with the Chief's people didn't work out. He hasn't said anything, but he's feeling it.
Tell me about yourself, Crumb.
I wanted to talk about you, if that's all right.
You know, I'm from Tevinter. Wasn't a slave, but even citizens have it rough if they're not mages. I was a soldier, but women joined the ranks under a different program. When they found out I was passing, it got ugly. I ran, met Bull near the border, and ended up here. Not a life I'd wish on everyone, but it'll do.
How did you end up leaving?
You said you left Tevinter when they discovered your secret.
Women are allowed to serve, but only in certain ranks and disciplines. I was up for promotion, but the healer I'd bribed to sign off on my physical had to tend to a sick magister. When the replacement healer saw what was or wasn't in my pants, he made threats. It was slavery or death, so I knocked him out and ran.
How did you get away?
I'm surprised you escaped from the Tevinter Imperium so easily.
It's not like I lived in Minrathas. I was in Trevis, not far from the Navaran border. It helped that I was being chased as a deserter, not a runaway slave. Slave hunters only get paid for what they catch. They're efficient bastards.
Passing is illegal?
It's against the law to pass as a man.
It's a crime to lie on an imperial application for service. Would have been a heavy fine or slavery. For 10 silvers, the healer said he'd tell the Tribune I was sick in the head. Some pity for the mad little girl. That was when I hit him. I'd served for a few years. I was good at hitting.
Why do you pass?
Why did you decide to live as a man?
I didn't decide anything. I've been like this my whole life. My parents wanted me to marry up. They tried to find me a nice merchant's son. Every day, put on a dress, look into my father's shaving mirror, and just hate myself.
Would you change it with magic?
If you had the chance to use magic, would you change all the way?
What? No. I don't want any magic like that within 10 yards of my body. When I was younger. I don't know. Everyone has silly dreams. In Tevinter, dreams like that get you killed. Bull helped me make a good life. Nice armor and a well-placed sock, and I'm happy.
What did your family think?
How did your family react when you started?
My mother wanted to throw me out. She said if I didn't marry well, I was dooming the family to slavery. She was happy to take the money I set as a soldier, though. Not that it mattered in the end. My father. When I was little, he'd angle his mirror down so I could pretend to shave, just like him. He never said anything, but I think he knew.
Good father. What is Tevinter like? What is Tevinter life like?
What's Tevinter like for a citizen? Someone who isn't a slave or a mage?
I'm of the Separati, citizens who aren't mages. Mages are in charge and everyone knows it. But a wealthy merchant can have an easy life. At the low end, people just try to stay out of slavery. My father was a tailor. I joined the army after the Imperial slaves drove him under.
How did they do that?
How did slaves drive your family out of business?
My father made shirts, aprons, that kind of thing. Nothing fancy. One of the magisters had a pet project to prevent the poor from dying of cold in the winter. Nice, right? You get Imperial slaves making simple peasant clothes and selling them for almost nothing. That magister's nice idea put out slave-made clothes at prices my father couldn't match.
Slave labor. Lovely.
It's difficult to compete with someone who doesn't get paid.
That's Tevinter. My father sold himself into slavery. He's one of the Servus Publicus, the Imperium-owned slaves now.
That's sad. I'm sad now. Thanks, Krem. Goodbye now.
We'll talk later.
Thanks, Krem. Thanks telling me that your dad's a slave in the Tevinter court. That makes me so happy. I'm going to call in now. I'm going vice versa. Instead of Blackwall calling, I'm going to call in Blackwall. Is that a ladder? Oh, it was a ladder. That is a big bird. That is a big raven. Where do you guys get that armor from? Tell me! Hey, Colin.
At your service.
Tell me about Templar life?
I'd like to know more about the Templars.
What would you like to know?
Holy shit! Did I not ask him about Templars yet? Actually, since I was thinking about becoming a Templar, I will ask him about this. I will. Okay. What do Templars do? Let's go with the basics first.
Do the Templars do anything besides hunt mages?
Templars protect against the dangers of magic. Before the Order left the Chantry, that meant serving in a circle. They were also tasked with tracking apostates, or fighting demons inevitably summoned by the weak or malicious.
What do you think of mages? This is a heavy question for Colin. This is a big one.
You've made it clear that you consider mages a threat.
Any mage can be. I won't pretend otherwise. I've seen the suffering magic can inflict. I've treated mages with distrust because of it, at times without cause. That was unworthy of me. I will try not to do so here. Not that I want mages moving through our base completely unchecked. We need safeguards in place to protect people, including mages, from possession at the least.
How are Templars trained?
What does Templar training involve?
There is weapon and combat training. Even without their abilities, Templars are among the best warriors in Thedas. Initiates must also memorize portions of the Chant of Light, study history, and improve their mental focus.
Did you enjoy it?
Did you enjoy your training?
I wanted to learn everything. If I was giving my life to this, I would be the best Templar I could.
You were a model student.
I wanted to be. I wasn't always successful. Watching a candle burn down while reciting the Chant of Transfigurations wasn't the most exciting task. I admit, my mind sometimes wandered.
Why did you become a Templar?
Why did you join the Order?
I could think of no better calling than to protect those in need. I used to beg the Templars at our local chantry to teach me. At first, they merely humored me, but I must have shown promise, or at least a willingness to learn. The Knight Captain spoke to my parents on my behalf. They agreed to send me for training. I was 13 when I left home.
That's not very old.
13. That's still so young.
I wasn't the youngest there. Some children are promised to the Order at infancy. Still, I didn't take on full responsibilities until I was 18. The Order sees you trained and educated first.
What about your family?
What about your family? Did you miss them?
Of course, but there were many my age who felt the same. We learned to look out for one another.
Tell me about their vows.
Do Templars take vows? I swear to the Maker to watch all the mages. That sort of thing?
There's a vigil first. You're meant to be at peace during that time, but your life is about to change. When it's over, you give yourself to a life of service. That's when you're given a filter, your first draft of lyrium and its power. As Templars, we are not to seek wealth or acknowledgement. Our lives belong to the Maker and the path we have chosen.
You've lived in the Circle?
You've lived in the Circle. What was a typical day for a Templar there?
Typical. The last time I was in a circle was right before it fell apart. Nothing was typical.
Before that, then?
Certain rituals require a full guard. A mage's harrowing, for instance. I've attended a few. Most of the time, you merely maintain a presence, on patrol or in the circle, ready to respond if needed. Mages pretend to ignore that presence, but they're watching you just as closely.
Do you not speak to the mages?
Do Templars and mages never speak to each other?
Some do, but Templars are supposed to maintain a certain distance from their charges. If a mage is possessed or uses blood magic, you must act quickly, without hesitation. Your judgment cannot be clouded. Of course, ignoring one another does nothing to foster understanding.
And that was all.
That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Should you require anything, I'll be here.
That is all I actually wanted to know from Colin. I'll just jump right down to Blackwall. Wait, there's a pass right there? Nice.
It's you. Your worship. I'm serving now. In a different way.
Why she laugh ever saying that? Hey, Blackwall, how you doing?
Yes?
Thoughts on the Inquisition?
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I just know that you could shake this world to its foundations if you willed it.
What about our cause?
What do you think of the Inquisition's cause?
Restoring order is a goal I support wholeheartedly. But that's not the end of it, is it? Not by a half. The Lady Seeker believes we are restoring the Chantry. Others say it needs reform. I don't know where you stand on the matter, and I'll admit I haven't made up my mind either.
Thoughts on our advisors?
What do you think of my advisors?
Liliana is lonely. That's really all I see. All she has is her work. I pity her sometimes, as odd as that may seem.
And the Inner Circle. Oh, what about Josephine and Colin?
What do you think of my advisors?
Josephine's lovely, and craftier than you'd expect. The Inquisition could not have picked a better ambassador.
And what about Colin?
What do you think of my advisors?
Cullen. He's got the look of a man who's been through too much. He's seen the best and the worst of humanity, and I think he still struggles with where that leaves him. Still, I trust him to watch my back.
That's good. Okay, now what about the Inner Circle?
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Cole's dangerous, unpredictable. We aren't even sure what he is. Don't know what he might do. I wouldn't turn my back on him.
Let's just ask 2 more times.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
Madame Vivian only allied with the Inquisition because she knows it will bring her power. The most poisonous snakes are often the most beautiful.
Okay, I won't take Vivian slander like that. One more.
You must have some feelings about our friends.
You're eyeing the Lady Seeker, aren't you? I can see why. She's definitely striking. A little stern, though.
Any advice?
You're experienced, I assume. Got any tips?
If I say the wrong thing, she'll probably have my head. Cassandra is a warrior. That's all she's ever known. But that's not all there is to life. Show her that.
That's awesome. Wait, that's enough. Thanks, Blackwall. Thanks for the advice.
We should return to our duties.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
Thanks, Blackwall. I won't tell Cassandra you said that. Hey, Master Dennett. How do you like this guy holds stables?
Inquisition?
How are the horses?
How were your charges? Well supplied?
Surprisingly well. Not many could feed these people, let alone their mounts. Makes me wonder what you're capable of.
How's the fam?
Are your wife and daughter doing well?
Elena's minding the farms. Sienna's still running her full races. Wouldn't be fair to drag them up here. I miss them. But someone has to save the world.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Make her be with you.
It's really hard to break into for a character like companion. I was about to say, Liliana, you good?
At your service, my lord.
You are well connected.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You met the hero Ferelden?
You have a history with the warden who ended the Blight, don't you?
I count him among my closest friends. I still write to him for advice when I can. He hasn't replied to my letters in some time. I try not to worry about it. He can take care of himself.
I hope, what's his name, Cthulhu? I hope that little guy can take care of himself. How do you know Josephine?
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the Blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Varric, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
A real party?
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes are pinned to a chantry board. And that's all I'm saying about it.
Color me curious. How do you know Hawk, or do you know Hawk?
They say you spent some time in Lothering. Did you know the champion?
We spoke a few times. I seldom left the chantry, and we never became more than casual acquaintances. I saw more of the Hawk twins. Bethany in particular. She would spend time in meditation at the chantry, and she seemed to like my stories. The other one, the young man, he was a little surly. I did encounter the champion again later in Kirkwall. Those were terrible times.
I forgot she was in Lothering. She probably knew Hawk, like, pretty well. Well, not as well, like you just said. But she knew the twins, Carver and Bethany. And she has the same opinion about Carver as everyone else does. Surly. Why were they terrible? Yeah, why was Kirkwall terrible? I wonder.
Was this when the Chantry was destroyed?
No, that happened later. But even then, the news coming out of Kirkwall was disheartening. There were some in Varric who wanted the Divine to declare an exalted march on Kirkwall. Justina sent me there to see if that could be avoided, to gather evidence to calm those agitating for war. I guess it didn't matter in the end.
We'll talk later.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
She was talking. She did meet Hawk before the Templar Mage Rebellion. She talked to him a little bit. Dorian, your turn.
Questions.
Tell me about Alexius, since now we judged him.
You said Alexius was a mentor of yours.
He was my patron, sponsoring me to the higher levels of the Circle of Magi. In return, my successes were his. I had a lot of successes, naturally. Alexius was most pleased. He and I used to talk over brandy about the corruption, how we could one day make real change in the Imperium. And then he gave up. He stopped trying.
Why?
Why did he give up?
On a journey to Hosburg, a Darkspawn raid killed his wife and sickened his son. I remember hearing the news. He hadn't been there, you see. Alexius was convinced he could have protected them. And the guilt tore him up. I helped him with his research for a while, and then we drifted apart.
I'm sorry.
That must have been difficult.
Back then, I was furious. I told him to snap out of it, move on. I thought I had all the answers. Later, I regretted my hasty words. But we didn't speak again until he approached me for the Venatori. Too much pride, I suppose. Plus, I was busy drinking. One must have priorities.
Did you miss him?
Was it hard being away from him?
It was hard not having a patron, yes. I'm not exactly built to fit in. At any rate, he's fallen so low, I doubt he'll ever get up. Sad, really.
That's enough.
I should go.
As you wish.
Soulless.
How can I help?
Tell me about Corypheus.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. It spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Devinter.
Okay, thanks. Goodbye.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Thanks for the basic rundown on Corypheus. I feel like you would know him a bit more. It's a feeling I have. Solid one, but it's a feeling. Hey, Cassandra, how you doing? You looking mighty inquisitive.
Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
We make things better?
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
Those are admirable goals.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
You admire me?
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
You guide me.
If I'm guided by anything, it's you.
Oh, excellent. The blind leading the blind.
I don't think you're blind.
Clearly, you haven't been paying attention.
Haven't I?
When we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them. But I am. The Maker chose well.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
Okay, now she gives me advice, right?
Hello again.
Yep. So, you're a romantic, huh?
So, that book you were reading.
Yes, what of it?
So under that taciturn shell beats a true romantic heart.
Why must it be an accusation? Romance is not the sole province of dithering ladies in frilly dresses. It is passion. It is being swept away by the pursuit of an ideal. What is not to like about that?
I like that you like it.
Don't get me wrong. I like this side of you.
I don't swoon.
I meant the passion.
Ah, well that's not so bad then.
Before you is Service of the Minratha Circle of Magi. You met him and his Venatori in the Western Approach. He admits to working for Corypheus, raising monsters, and using magic for conquest. He also used his connections to smuggle magical artifacts out of the Approach, without his master's consent.
I'm actually impressed.
You stole from Corypheus. I don't know whether that's stupidly brave or bravely stupid.
I was hired by a third party. I've no loyalty to him. Might you find that useful, your worship?
I'm sorry, are you attempting to bargain with us?
Bargain? I plead. I throw myself on your mercy. I also have friends in Tevinter who owe me large debts. Leave what happened in the Approach behind us, Inquisitor, and I can put them all at your disposal.
Ooh. I want him as a smuggler.
Someone who can smuggle magical artifacts to Tevinter and back shouldn't be wasted on court diplomacy. Bring those artifacts back to the Inquisition. Procure something really useful and we might loosen the shackles.
Your worship knows value when he sees it. I won't disappoint.
We can always find purpose in people. He hid it from me. They said it was on the 3rd floor. Oh my. I'm throttling Varric. Okay, wait, I'm gonna read this. Okay. Since I'm taking the pact of the Templar, from the trees of lyrium and its varied forms, Sir's words make one's passage stand out. The means and usage employed by the Templar are far stronger than even the draughts of Magi, and are of considerable danger to the uninitiated. It is something that is introduced in gradual fashion. Rather, it is great effusion that is daily held in check by ritual maintenance. On an account, we entered the makeshift chantry, and my comrades-to-be were arranged as though as and on a guard. The trainer waiting to receive me. I was invited to pass among them, and it seemed important that each step by my will. Any reluctance would have signaled that I was not ready. They were boisterous and encouraging, slapping hands upon my shoulders as I passed. Upon reaching the trainer, he turned to me. Before him was the box filter I had prepared. He nodded, as if I was ready, and I returned the gesture. His eyes were solemn as he raised a mailed hand. It was bathed in the shapeless glow of lyrium, far too strong, prepared in a way I did not know. The hand of my fellow was still on my shoulders, gently turned from welcoming to restraint, and my arms were made immobile at my sides. I felt a raising alarm, but my certainty would beat it down, as it would many times in my career. The trainer pressed the glow against my chest, and in an instant, all was white. Oh wait, in an instant, all was pain and white. Okay, easier. When next I had my senses, there was much chamarandering and rejoicing. I got that with the second one. The first one's hard. But also knowing looks. Each day I felt a hunger deeper than I had ever known, and a woe by me if it went unfed. I cannot imagine bearing it without the support of the order and my certain my certain purpose. Several instructions from handling lyrium follow. I felt like I should have read, that whole Way of the Templar, because, I'm undergoing the Way of the Templar. Well, I'm going to level myself up in a way that only Templars can. Already licking my licking my lips for lyrium. I wonder what it tastes like. It doesn't sound good. From the way that book said, it doesn't sound fun. It went from all happy and cheery to them grabbing your arms and holding you still while they do it to you. It does not sound fun. But I say, why not become a Templar? Why not also experience that? Everything a Templar needs to craft their own infusions of lyrium, without which, of course, a Templar is left without any magical ability. It is said that, over the years, a Templar develops an acute addiction to lyrium, to the point that depriving them of it can drive them mad. A risk not to be taken lightly, and none do.
We are honored to serve.
Time to get addicted! Let's go! Colin's gonna look at me with disdain. I'm like, how could you do this? You know the pain I'm going through right now, right? I'm like, yes. Sir.
Constructed your filter.
I have.
Then you've started. Remember, keep dear what you need.
Train me as a Templar.
I am ready, sir.
There is a ritual. There is pain. After that, the rest is learning to take the punch. Welcome, Templar.
Endure operation available.
That staff's in pretty good shape, Dorian. You spend a lot of time polishing it?